Now, I'll just start spewing information. Actually, there are several hundred trees on the roof, a lot of shrubbery. There's a 3-acre meadow we'll pass by here in a few minutes. The really intriguing thing about all this vegetation is it's not planted in dirt or soil. It's actually planted in an artificial product called Utilite. That's a combination of a crushed rock and peat moss. Actually, they take rock from the frost chippings off of the big granite faces on the Wasatch Front, and they heat it up and it kind of explodes, and they crush it and they mix it have peat moss. It's a product called Utilite, which since it's been discovered is now a multi-billion-dollar publicly traded company, because the value of this type of soil is that it's only half as heavy as regular soil, which on the roof's a real good deal. It retains water twice as well as regular soil. It doesn't have any weed seed. If you take a shovel full of dirt here wherever you're going home and put it in your garden, you'll have 9 million weeds next summer, I can guarantee it. There's no weeds here. And they don't have any soil diseases. So it's a perfectly neutral medium, but it grows things like this. These pine trees are about 60 feet tall. They're Douglas firs. They grow in the high altitudes, up in the ski areas and so forth. Actually, these trees are planted in 6 feet of earth. Now, if they already they're about 30 feet tall. In a high wind, they topple out of 6 feet in a minute. But down under them, they've made a work of ironwork, and the roots go down and get all entangled in that, and they won't fall over. That was all thought out ahead of time. This building over here is the church historian's new building. They presently occupy 2 floors, about 3 or 4 windows up on the church office building on that side. That building has been underway for 2 years, and it's not going to be done until next summer. It's a fortress. Actually, you notice the other side is just blank. Actually, about half that building is nothing but vaults for the storage of precious artifacts. Things like First Edition Book of Mormon, letters from Joseph, ancient papyri and manuscripts and things. Actually, when this building is finished, you will be able to go in there, and there will be 32 million patriarchal blessings on file, so you can look yours up and have it if you want it. Now, other things like that, and that's really a great building, but it's taken 3 years to build it. It is connected by a tunnel when it was just being built. When there was no building yet, you could see the tunnel coming from the church office building over across right in the corner up there of it. All of the buildings on Temple Square and office blocks, that building and this building, and the buildings on the other side of West Temple are all connected by underground tunnels. And let me tell you, it's a labyrinth down there. I've only been down there once. I went from this building to the Tabernacle for a prayer meeting one time. I wouldn't go down there without a compass or somebody to show me where we were going.
So this is not dirt.
This old ground I think is just worth a minute. This side of the building, as you can see, is terraced, and it's all planted. Actually, I should have mentioned that when we were coming up so you can look. When all the trees get fully grown, you won't be able to see any brick on or any stone on this side of the building. And that side over there, downstairs. Shining down into the auditorium rots and fades the seat. This is only about 1 out of 4 or 5 times I've seen these uncovered in 6 years. So I'm wondering if somebody didn't kind of foul up in the way it all got put together. Look up towards the fountain. They're environmentally concerned. This water is recirculated, it's not wasted. And this water, 59 gallons is pumped up every minute. Now it runs through the water sources, and it runs over to that tower, and from the tower, a waterfall about this wide goes down. That's only a very small part of this water. The rest of it runs through the building, but at each level of the building, the waterfall gets bigger and bigger and bigger until by the last pool it's 30 feet wide. When you stand across the street at the north gate of Temple Square and look at it, it's really quite attractive. The waterfall getting wider each level and so forth. It's just an architectural feature. This wall actually, you'll notice people in different ethnic costumes. And really that's what this is kind of all about. People from all over the world are represented here. And the scripture from the Doctrine and Covenants, and this gospel shall be preached unto every nation and kindred and tongue and people, is fulfilled by this building. From this building, the one thing about this that you will recognize maybe, this pioneer family that's been thrown down in here in the corner, the little boy on his father's lap is David O'Mackay, who was been in the church for 20 years. The little guy with blonde curls, and he was a handsome man, I'll tell you. If it rains, the photograph disappears. If you took some water, let's see, that photograph has been electrostatically impressed on that granite. If you get right up to it and look along it, you can see where the thing is, but you can feel it, it's perfectly smooth. It's really weird. Sideways now, and you'll see how you can kind of see the impression. Looks like it's almost bent and grazed, but you feel it and it's perfectly smooth. I don't know how they do that. Modern technology. Now this meadow is 3 acres inside. The total size of the roof is 4 acres. And
we're on the roof?
Four
yes,
and a half
this
acres,
is the roof.
excuse me. And 3 of it is this garden, this meadow. Now this meadow was planted to demonstrate the flora and fauna that were natural in the valley when the saints came. And there are 20 grasses planted here that grow naturally, and there are over 100 varieties of perennial wildflowers that in years when we have some moisture, as you know, it has only rained once this summer. At least here in Salt Lake it has only rained once.
Wow.
And
That's the place to do it, right?
I'll tell you, boy, I'm sending every one of my grandkids I can get to go right there. You know, people ask us why, you know, all this was done up here. And there is a very good reason. Very good reason. When the temple was being built and was up to foundation level, they had a cornerstone laying ceremony. And on that day, Brigham Young gave a oration about the temple and so forth. And he told the people at that time, he said, I have seen the finished temple. Now this was about in 1857. And he said, I have seen the finished temple, which wasn't done for another 40 years. I have seen the finished temple with its 6 beautiful spires. And he also said, and this is the one that really stands my hair up, he said, I have also seen an adjacent building on the roof of which are ponds of water and groves of trees. And that's real. That's in the Journal of Historical. So old Brigham actually probably got a peek at this thing.
That's neat.
Yeah, it really is. It's wonderful. It makes me have goose flesh. There are 4 levels of parking under the building, actually. Each of them 6 acres, 24 acres of parking. 1,400 cars can park down there.
Wow.
Okay.